r/AskReddit, what has your pet accidentally conditioned you to do? Change the water in her bowl. It can be all the way to the top and she'll stand there staring at it until I take the bowl, dump it, and refill it with fresh water. I open the tinfoil as quietly as possible. My cat loves tinfoil balls, and whenever he hears it he runs over and looks at it longingly. Despite him having at least 24 tinfoil balls already, you can't call him with a treat bag or tin, he only comes for the foil. Check the mail every day. He's so excited to walk to the mailbox with me it reminds me to actually do it. Sleep with my legs a cat, length apart, she likes to sleep in between them. Before I run in the morning I usually scarf down a banana. Ever since we got my sweet dog, I scarf down about 2/3 of my banana and he gets the last part. It's become our little thing, an unspoken agreement. Weaving his name into any song I can for no reason whatsoever. To press on my bladder to wake me up early so they could eat early. Living lots of food by night didn't solve it. 2 things. My dog Rusty always puts his front paws on me and I always hugged him, so now when he's anxious he'll give me a hug and I'll hug him back. The other one is when I get ice he always begs for one, so now without thinking I always toss him an ice cube. Edit. Thank you all for the awards. I'd assume you'd all like to know the good boy is sleeping on my chest right now, and yes, he did get an ice cube before bed. Calm down when I start to lose my temper or get frustrated. Whenever he hears me sigh or swear, he runs to me, rests his chin on my arm or leg and looks up at me with concern. This has made me so aware of how my energy can impact those around me, and I have really gotten my anger under control since he started doing this. He's one of the goodest boys and I am grateful for him every day. A pic of my goodest boy. My girlfriend's older cat makes me pick her up to drink running tap water from her bathroom sink. I also gotta pick her up to get on the dryer to eat, even though she can easily make the jump. Run towards the door when they start dry heaving. I have a cat that plays fetch, very insistently. She brings me her toy mouse, and if I don't throw it for her, she sits on my laptop keyboard. Of course this all started when I would throw the mouse to keep her from sitting on my laptop. My mother's dog tells her when it's time for her evening meal, as in my mother's evening meal. The dog knows she eats after my mother, so when she starts to get peckish she goes and bugs her to start cooking. When I go back to visit, we'll be sitting chatting and the dog will sidle in and become a presence in the room for maybe 30 seconds until my mother casually looks at her watch and says, "I suppose we better think about eating." She's completely unaware of what triggers her decision. My cattle dog knows if he coughs on my face in the morning, I will get up and wash it, then now I guess I am just up. Also, for one cat I leave the toilet seat up so she can pee, otherwise she will go down the sink and that feels wrong. Yell floor food, whenever I'm cooking and I drop something, or go cronk 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 when I'm chopping veggies, so my dog knows I have extras for her. This wasn't accidental. I have a kitten, about 5 months old. Every morning, I wake up and feeding him is one of the first things I do. In the first couple months, in his little brain, he learned that me waking up equals food. About a month ago, he started waking me up, looking to expedite the process, jumping on me, meowing loudly, running across the bed, whatever gets me out of bed. I usually wake up around 6 a.m. for work. I guess that was too late for breakfast, as over the course of about a week this kitten would wake me up about 15-20 minutes earlier every day. This started on a Sunday and it wasn't until Friday that I was woken up and realized it was 4:30 am. It was then that I realized I'd been outsmarted by a kitten and I was being conditioned to feed him in the middle of the night. Now if he wakes me up early, he gets locked out of the room until I'm ready to get out of bed. He doesn't wake me up anymore. One of my dogs has several barks, a play bark and a squirrel bark and other dog things that are normal dog barks. He also had what we call his emergency bark. The emergency bark is what he does when he thinks there is serious danger. It is extremely loud and makes us jump every time. He usually reserves it for things like the time I fell down the stairs and he scream barked for my husband to help, or when someone is in our front yard, or when he cornered a possum in the backyard. However, since my husband started working from home, this dog barks his emergency bark at my husband if he tries working past 4 p.m. My husband now has learned to stop working at about 3:50 every day to avoid that jarring sound. Sleep on my back or front. I used to be a side sleeper but have an elderly cat who loves her human bed. When I come home, my dog comes to the door all excited, wagging her tail, making this wow 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 sound. It's not quite howling, but it's not barking either. I started to wow 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 back to her, because it amused me, but now if I don't, the sound she makes will turn into barking, which is very noisy and unpleasant. So basically she's trained me to have this dumb wow wow conversation with her, in order to keep her from yelling at me. Edit because lots of people are asking. She's a Portuguese water dog. Shuffle my feet instead of walking when it's dark so I don't step on my small, black cat. I had fish on top of this cabinet, not sure if that's the right word, so I would always be really careful when closing it so it doesn't disturb them. I haven't had fish or any other pet in 5 years but I still do it. When I get up to go to the bathroom I stand in the door and wait for my elderly cat to come in before I close the door. He likes to keep me company. If he doesn't come in right away I'll call for him and if still nothing I'll start walking around the house looking for him. I seem to have inherited a turtle, a red-eared slider. It was originally the daughter's and she bought it at age 13 with the help of her mom. It came with a tiny tank. I know. Once it arrived home I thought, well, how unfortunate that your new owner is incapable of looking after herself, never mind a pet. She did try but as expected got bored by this new friend. So I looked for information and found out he may live for 25-30 years. At this point it seemed to become my responsibility. 11 years later, daughter has moved out. Several tanks later, don't worry, the one now is fine in size. 2 Flaval filters, heaters, bulbs for heating and UVB, custom basking ramps and the general upkeep and well-being of our not-so-small turtle. It seems that he now 100% mine. I don't mind, to be honest. Anyway, when we are out of sight he will continually swim near the water surface and splash like crazy, all 4 legs breaking the surface and creating a lot of noise. For some time I would hear this noise and run into the room. Upon seeing me he would stop. I walk out. Splash time again. I look forward to the next 20 years of doing this. Smiley face. Sometimes we take him out the tank. He seems fine, not terrified or skittish but quite happy to explore. I never know if this splashing is him asking, hey, come on, get me out of here, I need a change of scenery. My husky does the sneezing thing when she's anxious and I imitate her every time she does it. Usually causes follow-up sneezes. I also know right when she's about to groan when she's anxious/annoyed, and if I make the noise before she does she won't do it. My cat sleeps under the blanket snuggled up to me. Even when I'm at a hotel I instinctively raise the blanket a bit so he can crawl in. Edit. Here's my baby boy snuggling me. https://imager.com/a/vrsuohn. Incidentally, my story from the reverse of this question still applies. We've conditioned him to dramatically flop onto his side for pets, and he's conditioned us to give him attention when he flops because it's so damn cute. We tried to encourage our cat to not wander around crying for attention, so I started going to pet him every time he quietly laid down. It worked to a certain point, but now his method of demanding attention is to dramatically throw himself onto his side with a huff, and stare at us. Fortunately for him, it's very cute so it still works in getting him attention. Cat tags for photographic evidence. Edit to add, as a bonus, our bigger, older cat figured out what gets attention for the younger one, and started mimicking it, much less dramatically though, so we sometimes get situations like this. My wife just got out of the cat's chair on our front porch after he strolled up and meowed. Crazy thing is, it's not our cat. My parents' cat prefers to drink water directly from the tap before. Every night before bed he'll hop onto their sink and meow until someone turns on the tap for him, then when he's done he'll meow again until someone turns off the tap and carries him to bed. Everything her little heart desires. BC I am an idiot sucker and she knows it. Save the last part of everything I eat for him. Leave space next to my pillow for him to cuddle next to, though often both cats wanna sleep there and I have what I call my cat hat to sleep in. Panic when the door opens. My dogs are runners. She's a tracker, so whenever she needs something she'll just walk me to it, so now whenever she looks at me, and paws at my foot, I just follow her. It's just a reflex at this point. When I'm having dinner, My cat would jump on the table and look at me with squinting eyes until I feed him. I try to resist but his eyes squint so hard it's as though he's about to fall asleep. Too cute not to give him a little bit of my food. I have 3 cats so I am as trained as a seal at SeaWorld. Here are just 3. In the evenings, Icy will sleep on the living room furniture. If I get up to get a drink she will stretch and roll over demanding belly rubs. And she wants me to tell her she is a pretty girl. If I don't pet her and tell her that she will meow at me when I come back. Luna likes to know where I am at all times, so she will call out to me and expect me to answer. I know the meow that means Lissa Simpson fan where the hell are you? She won't stop until I answer her. Mr. Saucy Pants is a big baby so he needs lots of reassurance and I have to leave the bathroom door cracked so he knows he can get to me if he is scared. If it don't this little paw slides under the door and he cries. The only time I shut the door is if other people are here. The cats run the house. Yell her name when she barks. It's just automatic now. Pick up the turds which just periodically fall out of his asshole for no apparent reason. And also pay $400 to have the vet stick a finger up there when it gets clogged up once or twice every year. When it comes to pooping, my cat is all or nothing. Lift the covers in my sleep so he can crawl in. He aggressively headbutts until he gets his way so now I just do it to avoid a mean bonk to the face with a hard furry skull in the night. My dog likes to sleep under the bed covers. If she wants to get under she will come and nudge me gently and no matter how asleep I am I lift the covers with my legs so she can get in. My dog Yuri has conditioned me into being his pillow at night. At first I would immediately push him off when he tried but eventually he learned how to rest his head on my chest little by little so I didn't notice. Now I basically just let him do it lol. She will look toward the kitchen and then back at me with a smile. Then she gives a little wag and looks at the kitchen and back at me with that cute smile. She's telling me she wants a treat. I used to live next door to my grandmother so when I would call, it was usually to make sure her back door was open and my dog could run over for a visit. We now live farther away, but every time he hears her voice on the phone he gets all excited and runs to stand by the front door waiting to go see her. In the mornings my GSD will not, at all, go outside to do his business until I give him his joint vitamin. He's gone through the doggy door and turned right back inside a few times. My cat for whatever reason likes to play hockey with ice cubes, so whenever I get ice for my drink I instinctively put a cube in his water bowl. Somehow the subsequent wet socks always surprise me. My cat Kevin loves to drink water out of the sink, so every morning when I get up I fill up the bathroom sink with an inch or 2 of water. He also loves to bat things into the sink, so I grab a couple of Q-tips and set them next to the edge so he has something to scooch in there. I've shared this before, but I got my dog Snoopy when I was 10 years and ever since he was a puppy he had this weird love for lettuce. He would go absolutely nuts for it, so whenever I had a sandwich or a burger I would give him some of my lettuce. Over the years it became a ritual that whenever I prepared any food for myself that involved lettuce, I would grab some extra lettuce for him, so I could toss it to him as I ate. He passed away 5 years ago after nearly 17 years together, but I still find myself grabbing that bit of extra lettuce for him. It's kind of funny that his little quirk has still stuck with me for all these years and I honestly never wanted to go it away, because it's a little way for me to remember him. I talk in a very feminine voice to my dog. She was a abused rescue and was scared of men, so being a man, I just change my voice when I would talk to her. Walk out the front door backwards while simultaneously closing it. We got one cat that tries to escape, while the other 2 are fine with their large 100 square meters backyard with a net all over it. When I come home from work I yell out for him, so he can come up to me and I pick him up to give him kisses. Unconditionally love them. There must always be a space for my cat whenever I sit down on the couch so she can cuddle up next to me. Any obstacle will be knocked and or scratched out the way so she can take her place at my side. I've somehow become a cat treat dispenser for them. Yay for thumbs I guess. They both come next to me, keep staring until they get a treat, or the boy sometimes keeps talking and gives me a massage until he gets his treats. The girl also is all flirty when she wants temptations, until she gets them. Candy digger. Close the bathroom door with a rope just big enough so the cats can fit through, or he, dog, will eat their poop out the litter box. No one wants or likes doggy kisses with a bit of cat shit sprinkled in between. Leave pillows laying next to the tile. He likes to lay on the tile, because it cools him down, but he doesn't like his head to touch the floor. Every time I stop petting my dog, she reaches out and taps me with her paw, sometimes quite insistently. Of course, who can resist that? I keep petting her every time. To puke in the bathtub when he needs to puke. He pukes from time to time and I put him in the bathtub when he needs to. One day he just got up and went into the bathtub to puke. Proud but sad moment for me. Edit. I just realized I read the question wrong, and that my dog pukes in the bathtub. I was not conditioned to puke in the bathtub because my dog pukes lol. If I go to the bathroom for any reason, my cat will wait outside and then lead me to the kitchen for kitty treats. I don't even resist these days. The nice thing is, she doesn't even look back, just ambles into the kitchen and assumes I'll be right behind her. My cat Bo runs into another room when I get his treats out. He knows looking is cheating, so that he can come back in and hunt for where I place them around the living room. He won't eat them if I place it on the ground at his feet. Lil weirdo. I have started leaving the shower curtain open so when I go pee, he jumps into the bathtub and gazes lovingly into my eyes while he pisses down the drain. He started yelling at me and scratching at the shower curtain until I opened it. Now it's our daily bonding ritual. No, his litter box isn't dirty or messy, he just is really weird. I also cannot eat Cheetos or cheese puffs in front of him or he will jump on me and try to get at them. He is a goddamn maniac for cheese. He will try and steal the bag. I will stay in bed an extra hour or so every morning, doing work on my phone, purely so Gypsy can get in some prime snuggles. When my alarm goes off, Gypsy comes running in and announces her pleasure of having an awake human to give her pets. We spend 10 minutes doling out lovies before she finds a spot to snuggle against me. Then I stay here, don't move, don't disturb the kitty. She always looks disappointed on the days she doesn't hear my alarm and I meet her in the living room instead. Cat tax, snuggling this very moment. Thanks for watching. Comment suggestions for any future videos and make sure to subscribe to not miss out on any more good content. I upload daily videos from r/AskReddit, and if you like the video, make sure to like the video.